Hey guys, it's Bang from PC Gaming here again. I'm about to show you some quantum break performance scaling with a single GTX 980 Ti. Now before I do this, I just want to make this clear that performance does scale quite drastically depending on what settings you use on this game. So if you're someone with a 1080p monitor and you want a locked 60 frames per second experience, the best settings you could possibly choose is obviously your resolution being 1920 by 1080, and then dropping everything down to a mixture of high and medium settings. So these are pretty much the best settings you can choose to always have above 60 frames per second. So if you look at the top left hand corner, you can see I'm getting 90 frames per second at the moment. So I'm going to quickly run around. You can see the frame rate's pretty smooth. And you're pretty much consistently going to get this type of frame rate at 1080p with a mixture of high and medium settings. This will guarantee you a locked 60 FPS experience or above, depending on how much your monitor can do. So I've got a 144 Hz monitor, which is why I can exceed 60 frames per second. Now, with the new update, the latest update, we do have the option to disable upscaling and also disable the film grain effect. Disabling the film grain in effect won't really have an impact on performance. It's literally just a filter. But upscaling, I'm going to read what they say about upscaling. Toggle resolution scaling. Keeping this enabled is highly recommended as it offers the best visual quality without significant penalty to performance. Now basically what they're saying is this game was made at a native resolution of 720p. And now what upscaling does is it upscales it to the resolution of choice. So from 720p it will be upscaled to 1920 by 1080, but obviously that's not going to be as good as running the game natively at 1080p. So what you can do is disable upscaling, which improves the quality, but it does impact performance quite heavily. Obviously you just saw me getting between 90 and 70 frames per second just a moment ago. Once you run the game natively at 1080, performance takes quite a nosedive. So now I'm down to 40 frames per second range. So that's almost a 35 frames per second hit just to run in the game at native 1080p. So I just want to give you guys, that was just giving you guys some perspective on how much running this game at native 1080 without upscaling really does to performance. Now ideally I'd want to run this game at 2560 by 1440, which is my native resolution. I'd want to run this game at ultra settings because quite frankly I've got a high-end rig and that's what I pay the money for. So I'm going to max out all the settings, and if you've never seen a GTX 980 Ti cry before, you're about to. So this is the settings I would want to play the game at, but unfortunately this is the kind of performance I'm stuck with. So
okay, security's down.
Damn, that was quick.
So as you can see, things are not looking too good. If you wanted to run this game maxed out at 1440p with a native resolution of 2560 by 1440, you can forget about it. I know you guys are probably wondering, so the VRAM usage, the maximum I saw was basically 5.9 gigabytes, so just under the 6 gigabytes threshold. So it could be a VRAM issue, it could not be, but it's not looking good. It's definitely not playable at 1440p at ultra settings at native, at the native resolution of 1440p. So that's just me showing you guys what to expect. The game obviously does look pretty good at these settings, but unfortunately we just don't have the hardware available to run it smoothly.